The long-awaited gameplay trailer for Farming Simulator 25's Asia map is here, Hutan Pantai. The video includes new equipment, a better look at animals, and for the first time, a sneak peek at logging in FS25. This is the first time an Asian-inspired map has ever been in the base game of Farm Sim, and I'm so excited. Let's check it out. Oh man, now this is what we've been waiting for. So much is showcased in such a short amount of time, with the trailer just being around 90 seconds long. Now's also a good time to say, hey, if you haven't pre-ordered FS25 yet, check the link in the description. Console players can also pre-order via your respective game stores. Hutan Pantai translates from Indonesian, meaning coastal forest, and we definitely saw some forestry in the video, but not a whole lot. Giants do say that there's still some polishing to do on the map, but it is a great first impression of it. The opening scene starts with what I believe is a player house, with our character beside a three-wheeled truck, which are very popular with farmers in the region. There's also what I think is a cherry tree blossoming on the bottom left, and a Kloss combine out in the field. This looks like the perfect place to start our farming journey on Hutan Pantai. We then fade to a more industrial area with more planted trees and Olim Corp written on the silos. There's also a pit right in front of them and a container ship in the background with Fellowship written on the side. There's a lot of puns in this, so just a heads up there. You're going to see a lot of writing in English as well, which does make things easier for most audiences, but I can see this being a bit of a deal with players in the region. And of course, our truck is back as well. We then fade to a more traditional looking building in the area, complete with a very steep and rocky hillside in the back, and quite some large trees as well. It's also a beautiful waterway in the bottom right. This is just absolutely gorgeous. Yet another fade, and we find ourselves near the town center with an Iseki tractor and a farm tech trailer. Can't forget about those cherry blossoms. This shot right here is not what we have come to expect at all from Farming Simulator base game maps, and I really have to give it to the map creators for creating something very unique at Giants. Here we get to see our farm truck again coming down a very tight alleyway with different signs lining the streets. There's Neon Arcade, Music Store, and Karaoke. The windows are still what we've come to expect from base game maps with no interiors, at least in this area. There are a few others, and we also have some animations on the fans in the air unit, so that's something new. Finally in the field now, and we've got a Kubota tractor with what I think is an M8 with a mulcher on the back. This looks exactly like the Bednar Mulcher MZ, complete with the wheel setup and even the trash fan on top, which blows away debris from the top of the machine. Awesome to see more Bednar equipment coming to Farm Sim 25. There's also a train in the background, going over a bridge. And here's another look at the train cars from above, and that Kubota and mulcher in the background. If you look at the trees in the background as well, you could see the density of the leaves and how much more thick that foliage is. There's also a bit of blur to them, which is a nice change from how trees in FS25 and previous games looked when you get too far away. They may not look 100% real, but this is a massive upgrade. Now, how many of you like taking the stairs? I know I don't. Thankfully, our characters in Farm Sim can climb as many stairs as they want and not get tired. This is a good thing because, oh my goodness, that's a lot of stairs. Why do I suddenly feel the urge to grab a skateboard and do a 50-50 grind all the way down? This is Farm Sim, not Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. All right, back to reality for a second. That was a bit much. The building at the top looks really nice, and it looks like it's got an interior as well. Maybe an important building for productions, or maybe even a sell point. Would be an interesting piano factory like we had on Sri Lanka. What do you guys think about this? There's also some fog in the distance. I know. more fog, and some buildings and fields, but I can't really make out what they are from this distance. How's about we jump back down to farming? We've got our farm truck again at a stop sign, I think running the stop sign, with a John Deere 6R tractor and the DeWolf GBC harvester. And that train track raised above the fields again. Also, if you look just to the left of the stop sign and down the road in the distance, kind of looks like a bridge of some sort. Maybe a drawbridge? That would be pretty cool. Let's get another angle of that John Deere with a cement mixer going by in the back. This is one of the vehicles that drives around this map, and I want to say that I also saw this on the USA map as well, I think. You can also see the train tracks raised up and the forest in the background. Looks like we're harvesting carrots with this one, which will be one of the returning crops from the premium expansion released back in Farm Sim 22 in November of 2023. We don't know about all of the machines being offered from 25 from DeWolf, but the GBC definitely will be. This is one of the ones with capacity, so if you need that, there you go. It'd also be nice to have this in the base game so they could be modified, because I really wanted to do that, but it was locked. The scene actually goes on for a while. It's one of the longest clips that we've seen so far, and Giant Software really wanted us to see the John Deere and DeWolf combo. After 6 seconds, we are back to the little 3-wheeled farm truck, this time with some rice sapling pallets on the back. Well, I think just one. Oh, and the field's being flooded from the front as well. Hey, we know that fields will flood, mostly just with an animation, with the water rising from underground. Though, the water will still react to any movements once the paddy is full. There's also a normal field in the background with more trees, lots of clouds, and a little haze in the air. I like this look. I've seen in the comments and heard you guys, and it doesn't seem like the most popular opinion, but I still like it. However, I do get where you're coming from. After another 2 seconds, we are planting rice. Well, transplanting the rice with the Iseki PRJ rice transplanter. Rice seedlings grow in 8 rows at a time, and the machine will turn around itself and go back the other way without doing a 46-point turn like You can also see the water moving and reacting to the Iseki. Very cool. And up on the hill to the right, there's also some greenhouses, likely where these seedlings came from. Here's another look at the same scene from a different angle with the farm truck in the foreground and a pallet of rice seedlings, or saplings. I don't actually know what to call them, but they're on the right. Looks like the bed of the truck is the perfect place to fit one pallet. I dig it. Also, the Iseki is creating some small little waves in the water with its movement that are going all the way to the edges of the field. That's really cool. Here's a closer look at that rice transplanter putting these seedlings or saplings into the ground under the water. Goes up, grabs a sapling, and then transplants it into the ground. On the other side, it grabs another one and does it again. This is a great level of detail, and the machine itself is very genius. For those of you that have been waiting for some logging, here's a very brief look at it, and I don't know if we're going to be able to see any more either. This is the Komatsu 951s, my favorite harvester for logging, dropping what looks like a dead tree in the forest, or maybe a new one. The map does translate to coastal forest, so I would expect quite a bit of logging here, but we don't really see that. Hopefully a lot of features from Silver Run Forest make their return. The animations on the harvester are looking good, and the light coming off the machine looks great as well. I'm really hopeful that logging in FS25 is greatly improved and expanded over previous offerings in the franchise, as loggers have been looking for more in the past few years. The Platinum expansion in FS22 gave us a taste, and I'm hoping for you guys and gals, you get the whole pie in 25. There's a new sawmill. We got Moonbear Sawmill, who buys and sells lumber. I wonder if we can actually buy lumber here, or if it's just a sign. That'd be a really neat setup. Let's jump back over to the shipyard. There's some pretty cool stuff in this shot, with fishing boats, a lighthouse, with a light that cuts through the fog. Yes, I know. And what I think is a fellowship boat in the background, yet again. I'm not sure if this is just one of the featured landmarks on the map, or a very important area that we will be visiting regularly, but I dig it. There's also lots of rain in this shot, with something grain, something written on the silos on the dock, but we'll be able to see what that is here soon in the screenshots. Little much for grain mill, but maybe fellowship works like the train? Where we'll take the grain out and give us more money? We can only hope. Harvest time is here with the Iseki tractor and farm tech trailer making a return. The Iseki 6130 rice harvester is in the background. This rice doesn't appear to be in a rice paddy, at least from this angle, so I'm really interested to see how the rice paddies are created and shaped. This could also be a custom one that is already on the map from the start. It's quite a few possibilities here that we just don't know the answer to yet. More interior shots of the rice harvester, which again looks really nice. I love that the animation of the rice also coming in the side. Inside the machine, it looks great too. It's such a small working with, it should be pretty easy to run this in first person mode, no matter what platform you're playing on. Here's another look. You can see the rice plants being taken in through the side again. It's so cool. I'm not sure how often I'll be doing rice this way. Just to be honest, I'll probably use a big combine, but this is most certainly going to give it a go, just for this animation. Back to the aerial view of the map, there's so many different styles going on here, from the fields and the countryside to the city and the busy old district, as I would call it. We've got some new trees and foliage as well as power lines going through everything. It's really nice to see. This area feels lived in. It feels real. Again, big props to the map creator for this. And don't forget about that little farm truck, which can be seen driving on the roads up here. Speaking of here, here's another look at the area we saw earlier in the video. I believe there's even a waterfall in the back. I can foresee a lot of players trying to jump on the roofs of these buildings. Parkour! And then boom! In comes the Claas Evian 450 combine harvester with the Vario 620 grain head that we saw in the fact sheets for the first time just recently when I'm making this video. We saw this at the very beginning of the video as well, but this is our first up-close view of this machine in the game ever. I've mentioned before, but I cannot wait to start using this machine specifically, or even use it as an upgrade. I would assume it's harvesting wheat or maybe one of the other similar grain crops here, but no matter, what a machine. It's epic. After the first Claas machines were introduced into the Platinum DLC in FS19, they have been a fan favorite, and this one right here is with the rest of the machines as well. Giant spent a lot of time on this machine. You can actually tell that. And it's the longest of any of the clips so far. This has got to be important. More Kubota machines bring in, as we see one of the front loaders bring in what I believe is TMR or silage, with our farm truck again being seen in the background. We have seen a few of the animal enclosures on the USA map, Riverbend Springs, but this is the first time that we've seen it for the cattle on this map. Very interestingly styled building with water buffalo in the pasture. It's a small building, but still nice to see. More animals to go as we have goats for the first time. This is the first time we've seen adult goats in the game. We've seen the babies, but not the adults. Here's a mom with her kids prancing around. I like that the goats also don't look like demons, as they have in previous games and mods. This is very refreshing. Buffalo! The first in-game footage of water buffalo is here, eating some grass, looking super cute and just chilling out. And we also have little baby piggies. I tell you, I'm getting kind of overdone right now because they're so cute. They're cuter than ever. This little guy's hanging out while the adults are eating and resting in the background. And look at those ears. Oh my goodness. The ears even flop when the piglet shakes his head. Oh, it's so adorable. And another cute look at water buffalo, this time the adolescents and babies. The textures do seem a bit smooth on these, so there you go. But it is a video game at the end of the day. Again, with the ears. Oh, man. So cute. Can't wait to have a whole herd of my own. Back to the city where there's lots of neon signs. Trying to read them all, we've got Scoop Haven. Your cow is stuck on the road again? Call us. We move your cow. We have chicken, moving along, noodle coop, karaoke, and more. However, I can't read them all. There's also what look to be crop and fill type icons, but can't tell exactly which ones these are. Maybe sell points of what is accepted? Could be. If you're into ramen, then they have the #1 ramen in town. Buy 2, get 1 free. Hey, sign me up. I'll take all 3 of them. There's also Pan's Cakes and moving along again, with, of course, our farm truck driving through town. Here's another look down what looks to be the main drag with Coop Noodle and Bubble Drink and a sign that says Temple Biogas Plant. So at least we know where we're going. And there goes our farm truck again. And that's it. Our ending scene with the pre-order now text available November 12th. If you still haven't pre-ordered yet, now is a really good time to do that. You can check the link in the description, which will take you to pre-orders for both the base game as well as the Year 1 bundle. This is the same ending scene that we've gotten on all the other videos, so nothing new here, but it is nice that they're keeping up with the branding. That's not all, because we also have 7 new screenshots to take a look at. First up is a shot of an older Massey Ferguson harvester. This is the 8570 Rotary. This was made between 1990 and 1997. It features a 6.1 meter working width header and an 8,000 liter capacity. Looks like we're harvesting a grain crop with the train line running above everything like we saw in the video. This is also likely that red combine that we saw in some of the early screenshots hiding in the barn. There are some older buildings in the background here, but nothing really stands out other than the fact that Well, we're definitely not in Kansas anymore. Our second screenshot is of the rice harvester and carting on the go, what looks to be a Lizard branded truck. I can't tell exactly, but it looks like Lizard on there. I have zoomed in several times and enhance, but every time it just looks worse. I can't tell. So, hey, if you know, let me know. We're definitely at the end of the city, right in the area that we saw in the video. We're also got a billboard on the top left that says, "Stream now, silos and shenanigans." Definitely a show I would like to watch. There's also a small playground on the right side, but nothing else that stands out. Here's a closer look at the temple area that we saw a few times in the video, but with a closer look at this small pool with rocks and stones inside to walk across. There's also some lily pads in the water, giving us that little extra detail. Of course, you can't miss the sun shining through in the distance. It's a very beautiful place on the map, and I'm sure we're going to have lots of screenshots in this area. The file name for this screenshot is Temple Evening, so it's what you can expect to see at sunset. Next up is our mountain village with another version of the truck that we saw in the rice harvester screenshot. This time with a smaller bed on the back, or at least a lower one. I'm really interested in the road here and if there will be any traffic on it, or if we can just rip it through the mountains with our little farm truck. One of the biggest things that stands out to me here is not only the foliage, but also how far we can see with no fog in the background. We can see the train system, what looks to be the main farm of multiple buildings, the city, and lots of fields. This may be one of the best views, if not the best view of the map that we've seen. Our fifth screenshot is titled Neon Signs, with both trucks that we've seen as player vehicles, and again, well, lots of neon signs, naturally. The nighttime will certainly be lit up in the city on Hutan Pantai. Some neon signs here include Bob's Records, Star Treks or Star Trekker, not sure, and some other ones in the background that I can't read. Another thing to take away from this screenshot is the lighting and shadows that we have from all the lights. It's not ray tracing, it certainly doesn't look like cyberpunk, but it is very cool. To be honest, I'm really happy with the light quality for this farming simulator game. You may have other thoughts, and I'm open to hearing what you think. Is it too much? Is it not enough? Maybe it's just right, or maybe it's not quite right, but you can't put your finger on it. All opinions are welcome, and they could even help Giants improve the game even more before its release. Back to the daytime, and here we are on the streets of Hutan Pantai. We've got our two trucks here again, and this was the first time that we see the little trike with different colors. There's dark green in this one. If it matters to you, there you go. One of the street signs in the back says Town Center Farmers Market. So we've got a farmers market on this map as well, and again, you'll know where you are going. A few more signs that I can't read, though. One of them says Kapow in big letters, and another one that says hats. All right. And of course, the waterways in the bottom right. Another look down the road with some grain silos in the background. It's a great shot from outside the town. And our last screenshot is a view of the daytime in the port. We have backed up a lot from where we just were, so there you go. You can kind of figure out where we're at. We've got a fishing boat on the bottom left again, or two of them, with the fellowship, I believe, in the back with a better look at the silos, which say S.U. Yun's Grain Silo, or Su Yun's Grain Co., something like that, with what looks to be a tip trigger at the bottom left-hand side. Right behind that is the bridge, which again leads to the screenshot that we just saw before this one. And it's hard to ignore that lighthouse on the right in the front. For a farming simulator game, I think the water looks really good. And we have a massive amount of trees off in the distance on the mountains. I would assume those mountains are maybe in the middle or maybe 2/3 of the way across the map, but you never know. We'll have to jump on it and see it for ourselves. After being able to play the Gamescom demo at PAX earlier this month, I can only imagine what secrets this map is hiding. Hopefully I don't get lost driving around on the roads like I did on Riverbend Springs. And that's it. That is all I've got for you for today. Is there anything that I missed? Was there anything that you wanted to see more of? Hey, let me know, and don't forget, you can always go back to the beginning of the video and watch it again, because you're probably going to see stuff again for the second time that you missed the first time. Don't forget, Farm Sim 25 will be released on Tuesday, November the 12th for PC, Mac, PS5, and Xbox Series. Pre-orders are live right now for all platforms, so make sure to grab your copy before the release date to lock in all the pre-order bonuses like the Mac Don Pack so you can swap day one. If you have any questions about what you saw today or maybe anything else that you've seen so far, let me know, and you can check the other videos on the screen right now for more Farm Sim 25 coverage, including the video where I got to play FS25 early. Thank you for watching, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.